started thinking of doing this album years ago, just simply because the music industry had treated folk music so badly for the past 20 years, and I felt like it had been a major influence upon myself and many artists. And that just became the fire that shot this album into a project in full-blown production. And going to Jim Rooney and saying, hey, I would really like to do this tribute album to the songwriters who have influenced me and get this music heard.
We feel it's important, it's part of our thing, is to pass this on to a new generation of artists and an audience as well.
Well, Jerry Jeff Walker's song, Morning Song for Sally, is a song that I think is every bit as special as Mr. Bojangles or many of the other songs that Jerry Jeff wrote in those early years, and just deserved to be passed on. It had been overlooked. He had quit singing the song, and I loved that song. I would pull that album out of my shelf just to listen to Morning Song for Sally.
I'd played it for a while, and then I'd kind of forgotten it. When Nanci said she was doing an album of a lot of old songs that she'd liked, and she was doing that song, it kind of made me listen to it again. And hearing her play it gave me a fresh approach to the song, and it's been like finding a new song again. Thanks, Nance.
Night Rider's Lament is another song that I learned from Jerry Jeff Walker, though Michael Burton actually wrote the song. But it's the definitive campfire song, cowboy song. And when we recorded the album, we brought in Don Edwards to do the yodel.
As far as I know, Jerry Jeff was the first guy to ever do the song. And then it just sort of, the rest is history kind of thing, you know. But it has become, in cowboy music, it's become one of the most popular songs. In fact, I consider it a modern day classic, like the great old ballads of the last century. Of course, if you hadn't told somebody it was written in 1975 or 6, you'd think that thing was written in 1876.
We did the song live in Dallas last week, and when Don Edwards started yodeling, people in the audience came to their feet. It stopped the show completely, and it was almost like the national anthem. We expected their hand to go up over their heart.
Well, Nanci's always been musical. From the time she was about 2 years old. She's been musical.
She hears things. Oh, she's got the hearing of a bat. And the looks of an angel, I might add. But, you can sit there and you can be playing all nice, and one little clunker, and she turn around and go. She never jumps on you, but she always gives you the...
She used to perform the little kid songs and things like that for my grandmother, standing on an aluminum tub that they turned upside down on the patio at the house. And grandmother would just applaud, and Nanci would do her thing, and it was just great.
They don't need to know about that, really, do they?
Oh, she loves to write. She used to write poetry. She wrote her first song. I guess she was maybe about 12 when she put her first song to music with the guitar. It was called A New Generation.
I met Carolyn Hester for the first time when I was about 10 years old, and I had been eating cotton candy, and I had it just literally all over me. And my dad had warned me as we were moving through the line several times. He kept saying, do not touch Carolyn Hester because you'll get cotton candy on her. And so by the time I got to the front of the line, I was so nervous about meeting this childhood idol, my hero, my vocal mentor, that I was crying because I was so afraid something would happen. She would shake my hand, and then, I'd be in trouble with my dad because I got cotton candy on Carolyn Hester after he told me not to touch her,
I met Nanci umpteen years ago when she was 8 years old, about this time of year here in Austin. And her daddy, Griff, came up, and they had my album, and I remember her very well, and it's amazing to me. I meet a lot of people and forget, but I did remember that because they had my record, I guess, and it was a Columbia record, and I signed it. And I think back on that day a lot of times and think about how 10 years ago Nanci and I went. It was like maybe the first time she went north of the Mason-Dixon line with her guitar, and the only place would hire us, because she was new and I'd been out of the business for 10 years, the only place would hire us was Folk City.
Midge and I, my wife, had come to hear Carolyn Hester play at Gertie's Folk City about 10, 11 years ago. And it was the tour in which she took Nanci with her, kind of introducing her around the circuit, as they say. And we got there late, so we missed Nancy's set. Carolyn was on stage, and she saw us come in. And about two-thirds of the way through her set, she invited me to come on, up and sing Can't Help But Wonder Where I'm Bound with her. Now, she had learned the song from me. She had recorded it a few times, done it in a commercial. And so I came up to sing the song with her, and Nancy joined us as well. And just kind of, how do you do, nice to meet you, as you're getting in front of a microphone. And I still hadn't heard her sing. And Carolyn sang the first verse, and we all came in on the chorus. So the first time I heard Nancy sing was from about 2 feet away. She about blew me off the stage. I said, "This is some voice."